My 31 male ex-girlfriend, 29 female, found me and wanted to hang out, but I just ignored her after she broke my heart backstory. In 2015, I met this woman at college. Let's call her Casey. We had so many things in common, and we instantly got close. She asked me out, and it was a wonderful relationship. Also, I thought we had dreams together, sent X-rated pics. Once in a while, we do a lot of stuff together, not sex yet. In 2019 Christmas time, I was going to propose to her after I give her parents and siblings gifts. I even gave her Mum, who hates me, a gift. Casey works at the hospital, so she'll get out of work later. Also, I thought 5 p.m. she didn't come to her parents' place, but I came and decided to give everyone gifts. When I gave her younger sister, 20 female, let's call her Sherry, a laptop. She cries and hugs me because she always wanted one for school. Casey's father, a new barbecue grill. Moments later, Sherry told me I couldn't contain it anymore and cried harder. I asked, "What's the matter?" She immediately grabbed me to her room, and her father came along as well. She kept saying, "I'm sorry," so many times I was confused on why she then showed me a pregnancy test and told me that it belongs to Casey. I completely lost it and wanted to know why and how long was the affair. Sherry informed me that the affair happened in the beginning of 2019. While I was working a lot at my factory job, she goes to see him. Makes matters worse is that Casey's mum was the one who showed the affair partner to Casey. Apparently in the month of November, Casey found out she's pregnant, and she begged Sherry not to tell anyone after Sherry found the test, when she told me everything. My world came crashing down, and I decided to leave. But before I left, I thanked Sherry and her father. Let's call him Max. Max apologized and said that if I leave, he would completely understand. We shook hands and I said thank you. I just looked at Casey's mum and I then left my ex's house and just drove away and didn't look back. Max and Sherry got furious with Casey's mom. Let's call her Jane. Around 7 p.m. Christmas time, I informed my family on what happened, and they all comforted me. 11 p.m., my phone began blowing up with phone calls and text messages of my ex saying she can explain. I didn't answer back. I changed my number, deleted my social media, and changed my email as much as I want closure. I didn't want to see her face. Fast forward to mid-2021, of my friends informed me that the affair partner who got Casey pregnant ran away after he found out he's the father karma and they're looking for him. I simply said, "Who cares?" Fast forward to last month, I see a number I've never seen before. I answered and it was my ex. My ex begged me to talk to her and possibly give her a chance at my favorite restaurant. I responded, "Why should I?" "After you did what you did," she rambled on, and I just ignored her because I don't want to go through the same pain that she had put me through. Casey began gaslighting me and her friends, and her mum calling me a coward for not seeing her again. I told Jane, "You have the audacity to say that after what you've done." She rambled on. I just hung up and blocked Jane and my ex's number. I informed her friends what happened, and they left me alone. Our first reaction comes from insane Ike 22. Why would you ever want to deal with a mother-in-law that lies in an ex-girlfriend that will never be trustworthy? Let your ex suffer the consequences of her actions. Ghoster. And anyone with her DOP responds, "Yeah, I just left and didn't look back and move forward." She went from lovely couple to single mum. Also, my sisters I got 4 wanted to beat her up. I told him she's not worth it. Our next thoughts from Deloco 6913. I always laugh at the "I can explain" line. This is the precursor to gaslighting and getting told how it is your fault. They have no morals. Londette Man says, think about this. If the mother-in-law helped Casey cheat so easily, what do you think she is doing behind Max's back? God only knows how many times Jane is cheated on Max. And lastly, from Scary Inspector 83. 15 damn like a boss indifference destroys cheaters. Keep moving forward. King on to the next adventure, cheating girlfriend. Hey, y'all recently found out my girlfriend cheated on me, wanted to share my story and get your thoughts on it. I'm 36. She's 37. Long story, but here we go. I've known her since. We were in college almost 20 plus years and we were super tight. Back in the day, I always had a crush on her but never made a move for a number of reasons, but the feelings were always there. And I could tell she had them too fast forward to the summer of 2021. We're all grown up, we've stayed friends, and we chat every once in a while, and she comes to town for a conference and wants to meet up for dinner. We hang out every night, she's here, and on the last night she's in town, she confesses a deep love for me, that I'm her soulmate, and she really wants to be with me and build something serious and doesn't want me messing around. If we're together, mind you, we live in two different cities in the same state, a couple 100 miles apart, but a quick 1 hour flight. I'm overjoyed because I've felt this way forever, but it's never worked out. We agreed to talk about it and try to get together soon. A few months go by because of hectic work schedules, and we finally make plans to see each other. We go to the happiest place on earth, and it's amazing. At first there's no nerves, but we had a blast together, we were finally intimate, and the fireworks were real as we left. We didn't make anything official and just played it cool, like, hey, I can't wait to see you again, let's get together real soon. As soon as I got home, she wants to come down and spend New Year's Eve with me. I'm stoked and can't think of anyone else I'd want to spend it with for the entire month. We talk and text on the phone. I'm starting to think, okay, maybe this long distance thing can really work all the while I'm on dating apps. And so is she, and chatting with girls, but don't go on any dates, just keeping the water warm in case things don't work out. I actually deleted my dating apps a few days before she came to visit, because I knew I just wanted to be with her at this point. It's all good, nothing is exclusive, and we're nothing official. Fast forward to New Year's Eve, she comes down and we have the best 3 days. Incredible connection, super passion in the bedroom, and just an all-around great time basking in each other's company before she leaves. I ask if she wants to be my girlfriend. She says yes. And I'm thrilled she deletes her dating app. Right in front of me, we talk about being monogamous and exclusive. She's all about it, she flies home, and for the first few days it's awesome. Then, randomly on the phone one night, she tells me that some guys are testing her and DMing her after she posted some pics of us. So I ask, what are you saying to them? Are you applying? She goes, yeah, just keeping it short. Then she tells me about this guy who she's had an on and off again relationship. For 6 years, I reached out to her and was super excited for us. That made me super uncomfortable. And I let her know she told me not to worry about it and that she'd never spend time with him alone. Only with other people, if there was a work event with old colleagues, they used to work together, but she's moved on to a different area, so I'm already starting to feel insecure about it, but I trust her and move on. A week later, she's going to meet up with some old colleagues for a drink and then get home early because she's flying to Costa Rica for a week to spend time with her dad. I say, cool, have a great time. I'm off to sleep, but text her, call me when you're headed home. So yeah, I never heard back, and I started getting that weird pit in my stomach, feeling I finally convinced myself that I'm tripping and fall asleep around 2 a.m. I wake up the next morning and nothing, so I call her, and she sounds a little different on the phone. I asked how her night was, and she goes, it was fine, had a few drinks and caught up with friends. I could tell she was rushing to get to the airport, so I wrapped up the call and I'm feeling better about it. Over the next few weeks, I have this gut feeling that something happened at night, but she denies it all and says she only loves me, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a few weeks and a trip where I met her parents. I get home in the next day and for some reason directly asked her if anything happened. The night before she left for her trip was the dude she was seeing on and off. There, finally, she told me the truth. She cheated on me and she said it was for closure. And to close a chapter in her life felt like she meant it. I asked a bunch of questions and felt like I got what I needed to move forward in a relationship with her. I gave her a second chance, but she also refused to cut off communication with this other person because his dad was sick and that he was there for her in her dark times or whatever BS, but that she would never see him again. I tried to accept and move forward so quickly, but I was so pissed. 2 weeks later, we got together for Valentine's Day, and that was supposed to be the reset for a relationship. We talked, About the elephant in the room agreed to move on and be honest with each other next day. She asked me when the last time I got an STD test was, so I told her I got tested the prior week. No, we didn't have sex after she cheated on me until Valentine's Day weekend. She was curious and asked why I shared that it was for a peace of mind. For the next few days, she keeps pressing me for the truth. So I finally told her after she assured me that it was okay. So I told her that a few days after she told me she cheated on me, I woke up with a bump on my tongue and that I freaked out and wanted to get tested to make sure I was good, which I was few. And then, if she never cheated on me, this wouldn't have happened. She flipped and said I thought she was dirty. If I did, I wouldn't have slept with her again. And she broke up with me. She said she couldn't trust me. Then she says we should take time to evaluate what we want and maybe reconnect in the future, and that she only wants to be with me. What the F yeah, should I just block her, tell her it's over? I'm struggling with some wild emotions, ask for advice. You'll get it first up from Relaxative 666. Finally, she told me the truth. She cheated on me and said it was for closure, and to close a chapter in her life. Give her closure. And close this chapter on her life, where you were her boyfriend. Next bit of advice from Wild Grapefruit, 9177 block. Her manipulating behind, and have your best life next one from No Minimum. 1886. Well, it looks like you can't trust her, and you're early in the relationship. The closure story is what you guessed. Bees, if I were you, I'd cut my loss and move on apparently here. Feelings for you ain't strong enough to keep her from cheating on you. Consistent Cat 1603 says, dude, break up with her. Don't fall with that closure crap. F her. She doesn't love you. I've seen this crap before. They keep contact with her ex or some colleague or friend, and they go to a trip and boom. Man, you deserve better. She's just using you. Leave before crap gets serious. Eventually she's going to do it again and gaslight you and love bomb. You have some confidence and leave this stupid freaking... Opie replies, thanks, man. Definitely worried about the repeat of the same BS. No more wasted energy on a lost cause. Crownhawk closes this story out. So she cheated with him because it was more important to her to close this chapter than to remain faithful to you. You should wonder how many more chapters. She's got to close until she can be faithful, be happy. You didn't get an STD and don't test your luck further, which means to get rid of her. You wanted to be with her, tried it out, and now you know that despite what she said, she never felt the same. She lied to you the whole time. You deserve better. Moving on, wife's affair with cousin's husband. What wife had an affair for 2 years with brother-in-law? Her cousin's husband, cousin and brother-in-law don't have any kids. After 15 years of marriage, the affair started when brother-in-law started helping out with my kids, 9, 7 and 5, while I was out of town. To set the context, I have to say that brother-in-law is very good with kids and kids love to be around him. Wife claimed that it was only an emotional affair, and it started because I was sometimes gone for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, international trips, and she really needed to lean on someone. She admitted that they might have kissed a few times, but nothing more than that. Given that everything else was good in our life, and that my wife has been an excellent mother, I agreed to give it another chance on the condition that we take brother-in-law out of our lives. It has now been more than 2 years since I discovered this, and we completely cut off the brother-in-law from our lives. She still sees her cousin, but her cousin does not officially know about the affair. Cousin has a terminal illness, and we thought it best not to burden her. We tried to work out our marriage over the last 2 years, but our marriage has turned into a dead bedroom. Finally, after 2 years of frustration, I talked to her about getting a divorce. I told her that I had forgotten about what happened, but since she seems to have no desire for me, I have no reason to stay. My wife has countered that by taking the brother-in-law out of our lives. We have cut ourselves from the larger family. We avoid family gatherings where he is present and caused hurt to our kids, who have gotten very attached to brother-in-law. She says that she feels guilty for excluding our kids from the larger family and taking their friend brother-in-law away. Lastly, she claims that since I cannot forgive the brother-in-law, it means that I have not really forgiven her either. And she cannot sleep with me because I have not forgiven her. I told her that I have already come a long way by giving us another chance, but bringing the brother-in-law back in our lives is completely non-negotiable. Seeing his face and hearing his name triggers toxic memories, and I'm unable to handle them. Am I wrong here? Should I show even more forgiveness and compassion to allow him again in our lives? Update first of all, thanks to all of you for your comments. I wasn't expecting much of a response, but I am overwhelmed by the support here. Now that I'm reading the comments and others' perspectives, I am seeing this a lot clearer, but want to share a few more details. I come from a fairly religious, conservative background, grew up with little money but made it quite big at a fairly young age. The 30s, we have $1 million house, paid in cash healthy investments and nice cars. We go on international family vacations at least once a year, if not more. Most of our marriage, I had been focused on providing for the family for things that I didn't have in my childhood. This meant working super long hours and pretty much working for 2 to 3 weeks at a stretch when a new product launch was around the corner. Her whole basis for a dead bedroom is that she doesn't feel affection towards me because she feels that I see her as a liar. It took her 2 years to even admit that it was an affair she had previously maintained, that she just used to have coffee and talk about life. And one day things got emotional and they kissed, but decided to keep things purely platonic over the next 2 years. During the next 2 years, I tried to reconcile and kept telling her I need full and complete honesty for us to heal and move forward after I found some hotel keycards. She claimed that they were given to her as souvenirs by brother-in-law when I dug more. I found tons of trips to bars at late hours on Google Directions. Finally, I received an anonymous email from someone claiming to know about their relationship, and they gave me the same hotel names for which I found hotel cards. At this point, she accepted that they had an emotional affair. This was the first time she admitted to an affair. But after this confession, it was downhill. She says that I have no trust in her for responding to and entertaining anonymous emails, and not believing her that there was no sex involved. I started seeing a therapist, and he advised me that sometimes people are embarrassed to admit their mistakes, but if you think that otherwise she's a good person, stop asking her about specific actions in the affair and work on reconciliation. So now she holds a grudge for me digging deeper and just not taking her word. Frankly, I stopped caring about what actually went down and just want happiness for my kids. I built all this and did all this hard work for the family. I offered her take 50 of all assets, and we can have 50 kids' custody. She counters that she will agree on divorce if I guarantee her that we will not move back to our hometown. We had made a cross-country move for my career 6 years ago. I told her that I cannot guarantee that I already stepped down at my company from the VP position to a consultant position because I needed a mental break. I told her that I will give her guarantee to move back to her hometown, where we are from and where the marriage started. She doesn't agree and keeps giving me guilt trips for disturbing the kids, Live's private school, elite sports coaching, etc. She tells me that why don't you just divorce me but still live together and co-parent together? I told her that I'm not a floor mat, but I guess as I'm writing this, the answer becomes more clear to me that I don't deserve this after all that I'm willing to compromise on. It seems that she just doesn't get it. First reaction from CBD outside. No, this sounds like blackmail. It takes time to heal a marriage if both people are fully committed. She is mourning him. She may be waiting until he is single. Ugly thoughts to speculate on if you seek divorce. Put stipulations on him spending time with your children, also no carrying this secret. The reason you are getting a divorce is because of their affair and her inability to fully commit to your relationship. Next thought from Monkey Moves 101. After her cousin dies, she's going after him. I wouldn't stick around for this to happen either. Cranach chimes in, sounds a lot like your wife struggles with the consequences of her affair and tries to manipulate you by withdrawing sex from you. What she told you, there is simple: either you allow me to be in contact with brother-in-law again, or we will never have sex again. Forget all she said about family gatherings, the kids losing their friend and all that. She didn't care that this might happen when she had her affair. Otherwise, she would have never started her affair. She also doesn't care about that. All now she just wants to have her lover back in her life. And she told you exactly that this is blackmail at its finest. You either do this or you will never get that from me. If you have thought about divorce before she said that, then you should meet with a lawyer as soon as you can. Your wife is not interested in a marriage with you. She just wants her brother-in-law back in her life. She made her decision and sticks to it. Time for you to make your decision. Quahog, 1945, finishes out. Your wayward wife is punishing you for separating her from her affair partner. She's only sorry she can't stoop her airfare partner while you're enforcing the separation. Your wayward wife is waiting for her cousin to die so she can have the man. She wants her fair partner tell the extended family the truth, Opar. Your wayward wife doesn't merit your protection, you.